Hi everyone, I'm Charlie Tolhurst. This is Chaz's Squash on YouTube, talking about the latest political news and other great content. But today I'm going to talk political news. Of course, it is the hottest day ever in the UK today. 40.2 degrees recorded in London Heathrow Airport, which marked the hottest day on record. And certainly politicians were feeling the heat today. But what we're talking about is to do with the latest news from the Conservative Party leadership contest. Now, I've just seen the latest results on the latest ballot. There is more ballots coming out tomorrow, where we'll have the final two candidates going through to next Monday's debate on the BBC, which will be hosted by Sophie Radworth, who's moderating it. Today we saw Kemi Badenoch becoming the latest candidate to be eliminated from the process, which means there's only three candidates left now, which is Rishi Sunak, Penny Mordaunt and Liz Truss, who all came in them positions, first, second, third, respectively. Yesterday, Tom Tugendhat was eliminated, and then the other week before we had Suella Braverman being eliminated. Nadeem Zahawi was eliminated as well. Several candidates being eliminated early on. Of course, Jeremy Hunt also got eliminated. Very interested to see. Obviously, we had the debate, a couple of debates. We had one on Friday last week, which was on Channel 4, and one on Sunday, which was on ITV. So there was when the final five candidates took place. Now, what do I think to the candidates? It's very interesting, some of these policies. Obviously, Kemi Badenoch was the one I endorsed to be leader because she had the clearest view. She was all woke. She was on the anti-woke side of things, culture wars. Some of the policies, though, did align with some of the others, like the economy similar to Rishi. I would say Brexit as well, kind of divided on that, really. But she kind of sounded the most credible candidate for be Prime Minister. But she's gone. We've got three left. We've got Rishi Sunak, Liz Truss and Penny Mordaunt left. These three candidates are not my ideal picks, so I am fearing who's going to be leader. Liz Truss, for me, would be a disaster. Just similar to Theresa May, she's a Remainer. She hasn't got, I think, credit to be dealing with Brexit, even though she's got a great record on trade deals. She's a Remainer. She's very similar to what aligned with David Cameron. Probably very similarly aligned to Tom Tugendhat, actually, in that way, back in Remain. Again, this Brexit's still got to be sorted out. There's issues at the Northern Ireland Protocol. I really want to see that scrapped, personally. I know many Trump aides actually said that as well. Someone who used to work with President Donald Trump in America once recently. But, yeah, no, the Northern Ireland Protocol's got to be overhauled, and I could even see it being scrapped. I mean, it's just causing nightmare getting goods in, all these checks at Northern Ireland and stuff. It's been a big issue. Needs to be resolved. Brexit. We've got to live up to our Brexit Britain values. We've got to stop having a second referendum. Clearly, Labour want that. So I'm really interested to see what someone like Liz Truss would do in that instance. Penny Mordaunt has been, I think, one of the worst candidates I've ever seen in the Conservative Party. Certainly, out of all of the leadership hopefuls we've had. She's had no major cabinet experience. She was in Theresa May's government, but she was rubbish on Brexit. Even David Frost criticised her the other week, saying that she hardly cooperated with her. She only cooperated with him on the on Brexit. Boris Johnson had to try and call her out once, with Lord Frost helping out with the negotiations, and she was his deputy, and Lord Frost accused her of just not getting on with tasks in that. And she's been at the centre of the trans debate as well. So-called self-ID, which is the main issue that's affected her campaign at the moment. She's going on campaign the other day saying that she's a biological female, even though in her actual campaign a few years ago she leaned more left on the issue and said that basically made a complete gaffe about this. It's just crazy. So basically saying men should compete in women. Men and women shouldn't compete in sports in that. And it's just all over the place. She's all over the place on it. She's going to affect so many people if she gets elected into number 10. And other issues as well. She's wrote a book, very much Blairite kind of style. Tony Blair would like it. She's aligned a lot with the left of the party, left policies. I know she said she'll cut taxes, but what does she turn us into? Probably a socialist state half the time. I've come out on Twitter very, very critical of Penny Mordaunt. I don't like her as a candidate. I think she's just very... I have to say as well, she's quite a moody candidate. I just think she's very... She thinks she's clever when she isn't. Which leaves me with really the only real choice, and that's Rishi Sunak, probably the favourite to be Prime Minister. And I think Rishi will definitely be in the final two come for next Monday's debate. Because Rishi Sunak is... Yes, I don't agree with his policies, especially on net zero. Mind you, we saw Kemi Badenoch U-turn on that the other day, when she said the other day it caused unilateral damage for our country. So I look now at Rishi as probably the only option. Obviously used to be Chancellor to Boris Johnson, used to be a junior minister back in the day as well. Rishi's got huge economic experience as Chancellor. Yes, I question some of his policies, but the Eat Act to Help Out scheme did help during COVID. Yes, the media blamed that was infection rises, but it was a boost for hospitality. And furlough scheme did save many businesses as well. And Rishi's questions about his wife and his green card and that, it's just one of those things. Rishi's an interesting candidate, but Mark Harper's backing him and several other people are backing him. So his policies are very similar. He said he won't rush tax cuts as well, which is a very interesting thing. This is what a lot of people are not happy with. They want to see taxes being cut, especially given all the inflation we've had at the moment, given how much fuel's gone up, energy's gone up, even prices in supermarkets for food have gone up as well. It's huge. Rishi looked like a clear debater. He's a good debater as well. He seemed well polished the other night, just knew what he was talking about. Very confident. I think probably the only option they got to win a general election. But for me, I wouldn't, on policies, especially on net zero, I just don't think it's achievable by 2050. Even Kemi Badenoch said she's going to try and delay the deadline, but we've got to think about that as well. And the next Prime Minister also needs to look at halting this immigration mess. 15,000 people crossing the Channel this year. Get them to sort that out. So I look at the candidates now. When we go into another vote tomorrow, so Graham Brady's going to announce the result at 4 o'clock tomorrow, which I'm beginning to realise is going to be very, very interesting who gets knocked out tomorrow. It's certainly Rishi Sunak looks the favourite. Mind you, this could all change, but what I'm hearing, we've got Kemi Badenoch now out, which means where will Badenoch supporters go? Will they go to Liz Truss, which is probably the most likely outcome? Or given the policies on the economy, will some of them go to Rishi Sunak? Because if he can get over a 120 threshold, he's guaranteed a spot in the final two for next week's BBC debate on Monday. Watch this space, guys, because there is going to be a lot of change. It's not been comfortable for MPs today given the heat. So I'm going to be very interested to see how they get on, personally, with this next few weeks, and especially these weeks ahead. We've got Parliament on recess now after the summer, after just literally at the end of this week, and they're back on, I think, the 5th of September. Pretty sure it's in September they do return, but we'll have a new Prime Minister in very, very soon, and it's going to be up to you guys now to try and challenge them in your own right, really. Please comment down below, guys, on this video who you think is going to be Prime Minister, and or do you want to see a general election? Do you want a general election in the coming months? Because if you're not happy with the leadership, do you want a general election? Because this could be bad for the Conservative Party given the huge losses we've had at by-elections. And it could damage the 2019 majority that Boris Johnson gained when he won that landslide victory that year. So I really want to see the Tory party and the Conservative Party really united now, and particularly on the issues like the war in Ukraine, which I've praised a lot of it because we've done really well with the response. And yes, Boris Johnson goes with a lasting legacy as Prime Minister, but I did praise him on that. But Boris is signing off now. We've got a new leader coming. we've got to now focus on getting Britain in the right direction. Just whatever the mainstream media can think of, whatever the mainstream media can say about these candidates, the mainstream media can go obsessions with Rishi Sunak and have that in place. I just think now we've got to focus on challenging politicians where necessary, but also looking up to the future, because I want the culture wars to be tackled. I want a cost of living crisis, which is the biggest problem we're having at the moment, to be tackled. So this is key issues we've got to tackle. So I want to see what these candidates can offer. Liz Truss, Rishi Sunak and Rishi Sunak, Liz Truss and Penny Mordaunt can tackle over the next few days and the coming weeks ahead as well, when we do eventually have a new Prime Minister, one of those three. As I said, it's going to be tough. So that wraps up today's video, guys. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chaz the Squash, and I'll alert you when new videos come online on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Goodbye.